Hello, you're watching VNA broadcast daily from Hanoi. Our latest stories.
Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng holds talks with Prime Minister David Cameron during his visit to the UK. Vietnam and the European Union start the second round of their negotiations of the Vietnam-EU Free Trade Agreement. The Vietnam News Agency officially launches a multi-language pictorial magazine dedicated to ethnic groups.
Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng arrived in the United Kingdom on January 22nd, London time, for an official visit at the invitation of Prime Minister David Cameron. Our bureau in London reports on the visit.
Before going to the United Kingdom, the party leader had a meeting with Pope Benedict XVI at the Vatican as part of his state visit to Italy. The meeting took place in a straightforward, open and mutual understanding atmosphere. Party General Secretary Trọng was greeted with a solemn welcome ceremony at Heathrow Airport in London. During talks later in the day, Trọng and Prime Minister David Cameron said desires to step up trade, investment and education cooperation. Prime Minister Cameron spoke highly of socio-economic achievements recorded by Vietnam and affirmed that the UK government gives importance to strengthening its relations with Vietnam. He said the UK will push the implementation of its commitments in prioritized areas. In reply, party leader Trọng said Vietnam seeks increased cooperation in defense and security with the UK, besides trade, investment, education and training. On the occasion, the two sides signed a memorandum of understanding on immigration information exchange, a Vietnam-UK action plan for 2013, an agreement on the establishment of bilateral working group on defense cooperation, and a memorandum of understanding on the establishment of the Vietnam-UK University in Da Nang City in Vietnam. Earlier, the party leader met with the Vietnamese community in the UK, during which he told them about the purpose and significance of his West European trip, which also included Belgium, the Europe and Italy. He also attended a ceremony to launch the Friends of Vietnam network, where he expressed belief that with these practical and effective activities, the network will have developed the friendship and cooperation between Vietnam and the UK. At the ceremony, the network managing board presented £3,970 donated by overseas Vietnamese in the UK to the Hearts for Children Fund and scholarships to Vietnamese students in the 2013-2018 period.
President Trương Tấn Sang has stressed the role of the Vietnam Fatherland Front in strengthening the great national unity in 2013 so that the country can fulfill its goals for the year.
At a conference in Hanoi on January 22nd to review coordination with the Presidium of the Front's Central Committee, the President said joint working programs between the President and the Front have mobilized people to involve in socio-economic development as well as in building a strong and transparent party and a law-governed state of the people, by the people, and for the people. Sang called on all ministries, sectors, and administrations at all levels to work closely with the Vietnam Fatherland Front to promote patriotic emulation movements, seek measures to tackle issues of public concern, and build a social feedback supervision mechanism. On January 23rd, the government also held an annual meeting with the Fatherland Front Central Committee. According to the president of the Vietnam Fatherland Front Central Committee, Huỳnh Đàm, the committee and the government have maintained close and practical coordination over the past years. He noted the joint efforts to finalize policies on issues related to ethnic groups, religions, and overseas Vietnamese, helping meet legitimate aspirations of people at home and abroad. At the same time, the government has created favorable conditions for the Vietnam Fatherland Front to conduct people-to-people diplomacy activities abroad and improve its international links with partners from around the world. This year, the two sides will focus on expanding and strengthening the great national unity, promote democracy and the anti-corruption campaigns, and deal with citizens' denunciations and complaints. Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng said that the coordination with the Vietnam Fatherland Front has helped the government improve its performance.
National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng hosted receptions for the ambassadors of Germany and Pakistan on January 22nd. He affirmed that the Vietnamese legislature will do its utmost to facilitate the development of ties between Vietnam and the two countries.
Meeting with German Ambassador Jutta Prast in Hanoi on January 22nd, Hùng hailed Germany as one of Vietnam's most important partners in Europe. Hùng spoke highly of Prast's role in promoting comprehensive links between the two nations and suggested that she actively works to enhance cooperation between the two legislative bodies. Prast expressed her hope that the two nation assemblies will increase exchanges between policymakers, contributing to the bilateral friendship and benefiting the two peoples. Welcoming outgoing Pakistani Ambassador Sahih Kiani, Hùng affirmed Vietnam's policy of attaching importance to ties with South Asian countries, including Pakistan. Kiani said Pakistan treasures ties with Vietnam and hopes the two legislators will establish a parliamentary friendship group to bridge links between the two nation assemblies and peoples.
Vietnam and the European Union (EU) started the second round of their negotiations on the Vietnam-EU Free Trade Agreement, or VEFTA in short, in Brussels, Belgium, on January 22nd.
The four-day talk will focus on the exchange of goods and services, investment, intellectual property, labor, and environmental issues. Following the success of the first round, which took place in Hanoi last October, the second round is expected to speed up Vietnam and the EU FTA negotiation process, as agreed by both sides' leaders. The two sides plan to hold 4 rounds of talks this year. The EU now is Vietnam's largest export market, with an export turnover of $20.3 billion in 2012. Once the FTA is signed, it will help promote trade and investment cooperation between Vietnam and the EU, bringing practical benefits to business communities and people of both sides.
The Vietnam News Agency officially launched a multi-language pictorial magazine dedicated to ethnic groups in Hanoi on January 22nd.
The Nationalities and Mountain magazine is published in Vietnamese and 5 ethnic languages, Khmer, Cham, Ba Na, Jarai, and Ede, with the aim to provide ethnic groups with a good source of information. The debut ceremony was attended by Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Thiện Nhân and other officials. The magazine replaces a newsletter which has been published by the agency since January 1991, the first short publication to target ethnic groups. It has been distributed free to all villages, communes, schools, and border posts in locations inhabited by ethnic groups and is widely used as a reference for school children. VNA General Director Nguyễn Đức Lợi said the publication has also helped preserve verbal and written language of ethnic groups. The Vietnam News Agency aims to publish the magazine in 3 other languages, Hmong, Cơ Ho, and Mơ, in the second quarter. An online version is also planned.
The largest ever exhibition celebrating 40 years since the signing of the Paris Agreement on Vietnam opened in Hanoi on January 23rd. Former Vice President Nguyễn Thị Bình, who headed the negotiation team of the Provisional Revolutionary Government, of the Republic of South Vietnam attended the event.
On display are 140 photographs, 3 documents, 8 books, and other artifacts, which evoke the fierce battle during the anti-U.S. war and the skillful leadership of the party as President Ho Chi Minh on all the political, diplomatic, and military fronts. Images show the rounds of negotiations that led to the signing of the Paris Agreement, Vietnamese soldiers' victories on the battlefield, and support from peace lovers around the world. The exhibition includes 2 pens used to sign the 1973 Paris Agreement and the Paris Agreement on Vietnam, and a large book containing the signatures of Cuban people in support of Vietnam's fight for independence. The event will run until January 28th.
That comes to the end of our news program today. We thank you always for being with us and see you next time.